Okay, so one of the neat tricks that we want to learn when it comes to Google Slides and just maximizing our ability to be creative, as it's lagging here tremendously while I'm recording, I want to be able to just kind of do things. So now I'm going to use the arrow button because I'm getting frustrated, right? It's like lagging when I drag. Before I do anything else, I'm going to copy this by hitting, I use the shortcuts on my keyboard. Everyone's keyboards are different these days, but you can use shortcuts on your keyboard, and that way you can save time instead of having to go to the top. If you don't know how to do that, you would have to go back up to the top and insert text box or use the little symbols up here. Okay, these are important computer skills that you have to problem solve and work your way through. And when you get older, you'll be using these skills no matter what it is for high school or whether it's college or one day when you have a job and maybe you're presenting something. These are 21st century skills that we're going to need regardless of whether you're doing a journal entry or making a presentation for a class. Little subtle skills and tactics like this can really save you a lot of time. So, like now, here, before I start typing, what I want to do is I want to think ahead, and I'm going to bring this up to here so it doesn't go beyond my little section that I've created. And then before I even start typing, again, I'm going to use the shortcuts to copy and paste. I'm going to drag this down here so I can write here. And, maybe this little red thing is going to be in the way. So I might then want to look to explore moving it. A lot of these things can be moved. Sometimes, maybe my text box is in the way, so it won't let me highlight it. This one looks like it's not letting me move it. So, okay, we'll just leave that one there and we'll work around it. I'm going to press undo and I'll leave it there. But you will notice that certain things are, able to be moved. So on this page here, real quick, I've gone back and I can move now the whole little sticky note. But you have to understand that the sticky note and the text box is something entirely separate. So, there's a little bit of a rearranging, but this is where we learn patience. It's where we learn to be creative. You can share and incorporate other things as long as they're appropriate. Maybe whether it's like stars or I don't know, a heart, or if you were writing about your dog and you wanted to include a little tiny picture of some paw prints. Okay, we'll get more into that as we continue with these journals, but in the end, we don't really want anything blocking the writing here. So if you did write a lot and you wrote, an organized way, you might experience a little bit of trouble with that. But what you can always do is you can always just resize different things, make them a lot smaller, go into here. I'm using all computer shortcuts with my keyboard. Okay. And, I find an appropriate size so I can reshape it, put it on there. You'll notice sometimes the box might hang over, and that's okay as long as everything else can be read. And now, here, okay, maybe there's a word or two that's still being blocked. So maybe I spend some more time and really reshape it a little bit more again. But at least it was much better than before where it was blocking the whole thing. So, future activities will have some things like this where you might have to move them around. I think I've moved a couple of these sticky notes around, even just in creating my next journal entries for you guys. So I went in here earlier and put a bunch of quotes in advance, but I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys can make these a little more creative and uniquely your own.